All right, let's go back on.
Okay.
We ended, Mr. Galvan. I was asking if you've ever seen this order of commitment setting bail at $750 with respect to prostitution arrest in July 8th, 1992.
I don't recall.
Do you know what this document is referring to?
Yes.
Okay. Were you arrested for solicitation of prostitution in 1992 in Travis County?
Objection form. Answer.
Yes.
To your knowledge, is this document something that refers to your case?
I don't know. Yes, I guess.
Okay. See this? There's a personal bond there. Is that your signature on the personal bond?
Yes.
Okay. And you listed the responsible parties for yourself as David Galvan and Cynthia Galvan. Those are members of your family?
That's correct.
Okay. Have you solicited the services of prostitutes from time to time in your adult life, sir?
No.
Did you do that in 1992?
No.
Is this a case of a mistake by the law enforcement officer?
Objection form.
This case went to trial, I believe, and the officer didn't show up, and the case was dropped.
Okay. Was the police informant man or a woman?
Objection form.
I don't recall.
Okay. I take it you dispute this account of things that's on the screen now.
That's correct.
Okay. I'm going to pull up what will be marked as Exhibit 12. You ever seen this article before, sir?
No.
It's an article obtained from the Valley Morning Star in Harlingen, Texas. Familiar with the Valley Morning Star as being a newspaper in the Rio Grande Valley?
Yes.
It says a local youth group will be refurbishing Dell computers to raise money to travel to Africa. Generation Impact Youth Group from Northway Bible Church hopes to raise $30,000 for a missionary trip to Uganda. Youth pastor Richard Galvan, who is also the owner of MDI Computers in La Feria, purchased 115 computers from a Mercedes School District auction and is donating them to the youth group to sell as a fundraiser. Do you recall newspaper articles about you being the pastor, youth pastor or youth minister of Northway Bible Church?
No.
Do you recall ever protesting any newspaper that said that?
No.
This is something you've never seen before in your life?
That's correct.
Did you make a trip to Uganda, mission trip?
No.
Did you raise $30,000 for a mission trip to Uganda?
No.
Does this article ring any bells of details concerning your work with regards to the Northway Bible Church Youth Group?
Can you just hold it right there?
Sure.
115 MDI purchased 115 computers.
Mercedes is donating them to sell as a fundraiser.
Sounds
They're at this kind.
Wow.
So bring it up.
I know one of the fundraising options was for a trip to Nicaragua, but not to Uganda. And there was some computers that were sold. But
Do you ever remember giving a statement to the newspaper about computers and raising money for this youth group?
I don't remember.
During the last trip to Mexico, Galvan said the youth group was able to feed 40 families with food they bought with the funds raised for that trip. Galvan hopes that the group can raise enough money this year to feed families in Africa as well. You don't recall making any statement to the Valley Star about that?
No.
Every year, part of it is asking for direction. Galvan said, "The Lord directed me where we needed to be. This is a big trip. The kids will be preaching to men and women in other countries." Do you recall saying that to the Valley Star for a newspaper article about the Northway Bible Youth Group?
No.
Next paragraph. Hannah Lynn, youth group leader and senior at Harlingen High School, said she is looking for the opportunity to provide the needy and the TB with praise and worship. Lynn, 18, said she grew up attending the church and is involved with the youth group since she was 13 years old. Do you have any reason to dispute anything in that I just read in that sentence about Hannah Lynn?
I don't know age or how long.
Okay.
She might
But you're not saying any of that's incorrect. Are you?
I don't know. I don't know if it's correct or incorrect, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Do you know who Lauren Woodard is?
Yes.
She's somebody you worked with at Northway Bible Church in relation to the youth group.
No.
What's going on here? I can't get that off. Let's see. Sorry. Okay. I don't know. Something technologically is going on here. All right. Last paragraph of this exhibit. Sonia Galvan, also youth pastor at the church, said she hopes that her youth group can teach people in Africa that they don't necessarily need all the material things that other people may have, and that they only need to have faith. Do you see that paragraph?
Yeah, I see it.
Do you recall your wife ever giving an interview to the Valley Star as youth group pastor or youth group minister for Northway Bible Church?
No.
And your testimony today still is that you categorically deny that you ever held any of those positions.
That's correct.
I'm pulling up on the screen. Second article from November 2007, reprinted from the Valley Morning Star, that again cites you as youth pastor Richard Galvan. Have you ever seen this article?
No.
Do you recall selling 20 computers in 2007 to try to raise money for a youth trip in July to possibly Uganda?
No.
Did that ever happen?
No.
Did you ever buy computers from a school district to raise money for Northway Bible Church youth missionary work?
I believe, yeah, we did have a fundraiser that for a church trip, and there was some computers that were purchased and refurbished and resold through the church for a trip. That is correct. But Uganda and all this other stuff, no.
Okay, so the Valley Morning Star just got this wrong when they say you're the youth minister or youth pastor.
That's correct.
You categorically deny it still.
I do.
And you understand, as we sit here today, Mr. Galvan, that this testimony, even though it's done remotely, it's done with the court reporter and you've been sworn in, it's the same as you were appearing before a judge or a jury in a court of law in the state of Texas and may be used for any purpose, as just as if you had been in the courtroom to give that testimony. You understand that, right?
Correct.
Pull up what will be marked as Exhibit 14. Blow this up. This is an email Pastor Kelly Rumfield sent to my client, Blaine Cruz, last night after you submitted your, let me back up that one time, after you submitted your supplemental discovery responses. It reads, "To whom it may concern, my name is Kelly Rumfield. I'm the pastor at Northway Bible Church. Richard Galvan was the acknowledged youth leader and minister of Northway Bible Church by me as pastor and by the board of the church during the time in question that Hannah Lynn and her family attended the church. Hannah Lynn was a member of the youth group that Richard Galvan oversaw and led." Is Mr. Pastor Rumfield of the Northway Bible Church, you referred to him earlier in the day as the person you dealt with at the church, correct?
That's correct.
Is he lying when he says you were minister of the Northway Bible Church, youth minister?
Didn't say that. Don't call you a minister.
He didn't call me a minister.
Let me read it again. I'll have to get it a little bit lower. Richard Galvan was the acknowledged youth leader and minister of Northway Bible Church. It's on the second line. Do you see that, sir?
I see it.
It's Mr. Pastor Kelly Rumfield lying when he emailed us and said that you were the acknowledged youth leader and minister at Northway Bible Church?
I never had an official title. He was mistaken.
So you think the pastor of Northway Bible Church is wrong about who has titles at Northway Bible Church? Is that what you're testifying to today?
Yes.
Okay. He also goes on to say that he was acknowledged by him as pastor and by the board. You don't have any recollection that you were ever acknowledged by the board of Northway Bible Church as the acknowledged youth leader and minister?
That's correct.
So do you believe, who do you believe knows more about the titles at Northway Bible Church, you or Mr. Rumfield, who's a pastor there?
Objection. Farm.
I know that I was a volunteer and that I was a member of that church.
So the Valley Morning Star is wrong and Mr. Rumfield's wrong, correct?
That's correct.
And you're giving this testimony under penalty of perjury, are you, sir? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Have you ever had any criminal charges for writing bad checks or hot checks, Mr. Galvan?
I did a long time ago.
Do you remember what years?
Objection form.
I don't.
Did that occur in Travis County or down in the Rio Grande Valley?
Running objection as to anything about writing or having hot checks as opposed to convictions.
I was in Travis County.
Attaches Exhibit 15, case information regarding a lawsuit entitled Richard and Sonia Galvan, DBA Orbit Broadband versus Larry Peace et al. What is that suit about?
I don't recall.
You don't recall at all what Exhibit 15 is about?
I don't, not as much. What's the date on it? I don't remember.
2009.
Okay.
Do you recall filing and obtaining a TRO against Larry Peace and others on behalf of Orbit Broadband in 2009.
Objection form.
Yes.
You do now remember that.
I do recall the TRO that you had mentioned.
What was the subject of that TRO?
Larry, I believe, is Peace was, I believe, he threatening us to. I don't remember, either run us out of town or take our business or something of that nature.
Who was Larry Peace?
He was Mike Peace was an individual that had lived in Harlingen and I believe had moved.
Okay, what relationship did Larry Peace have with Orbit Broadband?
Orbit Broadband LLC had none.
Well, what were the allegations in your lawsuit against Larry Peace?
I don't remember.
You filed a district court lawsuit in 2009 and you don't remember?
I do not.
Who was your lawyer at the time? Do you remember that?
I do not.
Do you know Richard Rodriguez as an attorney?
Yes.
Did he do work for you and your company?
Yes, I believe so.
He filed this lawsuit for you?
Yes.
Did you have any, did you execute any affidavits in support of this lawsuit?
I don't remember.
Do you remember whose affidavits were used to obtain the temporary restraining order?
No, I don't.
Do you remember how this lawsuit was resolved?
No, I don't.
Did you settle this lawsuit?
I don't recall.
Did you give a deposition in this lawsuit?
I don't recall. I don't believe so.
Did you have a trial?
I don't recall.
Based on the court's record of events, it looks like somebody's filed a order of dismissal of the lawsuit. Do you have any recollections, just refreshing your recollection at all about dismissing the lawsuit?
No.
Let's see. I think that's the one I already opened. Did you know, this is an additional view of the article, is the Herald another newspaper in the Rio Grande Valley?
I don't know. Yes, I believe so.
Okay, do you know what city that operates out of?
No, I don't.
Trying to, this copy is very hard to read just because of the nature of the screenshot of it, and I acknowledge that. Are you aware that the Herald running any article about your Teens for Africa project with Northway Church?
No.
You don't recall giving any interview to the Herald?
No.
You recall filing a lawsuit against Ashley Nicole Montemayor and Almasu Rodriguez?
No.
Did you have a personal injury suit that you filed in 2017, or is this somebody else?
No, it's not me.
Okay. Mr. Galvan, have you ever undertaken to contact republishers of Court of Appeals opinions and asking them to take down the Court of Appeals opinion in your case?
No.
Have you ever directed anybody else to do so on your behalf?
What does that mean? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Directing somebody else to do it on your behalf?
Yeah.
Well, have you ever told somebody, see if you can get this taken down?
At one point, I did talk to a company about public restoration or one of those things.
Do you know when that occurred?
I don't.
It wasn't today, was it?
No.
Months ago?
I don't recall.
Have you ever corresponded with any number of internet sites regarding removing your opinion from internet search results?
Me, no.
Did
No.
you ever direct anybody to do so?
No, I did not.
Did you ever hire anybody to do so?
I did not.
Do you know if your wife has directed or hired anybody to remove internet search results containing the Court of Appeals opinion in your in this case?
I did not.
If the internet search provider, if the internet sites involved respond and say that you directed them to do that for privacy concerns, are they wrong?
Yes.
Has that never happened on your end?
That's correct.
Okay, let me take a short minute or two break and look over my notes. I think we're getting very close to done. Thank you.
Ms. Rimmer, what time are we at as far as elapsed time, please?
Let me look it up, and I'll tell you when we come back on the record.
Well,
Okay.
if we're out of time, I want to know now.
Well, let me calculate it. 5 o'clock. We've got about 17 minutes left.
How is it? We had 32 at 4:30.
At 4:30, we had 32 minutes, and after 30 minutes, we have 17 minutes? How is that possible?
I don't know. I might have made a mistake in my calculations. I'm not a math whiz.
Well, I'd appreciate you looking at it again, because by my calculations, we have less than 4 minutes.
Let me go get a better calculator.
Mr. Galvan, have you been aware in this case that it's been position of the Cruzes that Hannah Cruz could not consent to have sex with you?
I don't know.
You don't know whether you knew that?
No, I don't necessarily know. No.
Are you not aware that the Cruzes have contended and the Court of Appeals has accepted that the facts in this case are that you sexually assaulted Hannah Cruz in 2007 because she was incapable of giving consent?
No.
You're not aware of that?
No.
Is this the first time you've heard of this today?
Yes.
That information you would have liked to have known before the end of your deposition, almost 2 years into some litigation?
Objection, form.
I don't know.
You don't know if you would have liked to have known that?
That's correct. I don't know.
Okay. We'll reserve the rest of our questions.
Ms. Nix, do you have any questions?
No, I reserve my questions, but at some point I would expect to be asked about whether I want a copy of the stenographic recording or the video recording. I wasn't. For the record, I want a copy of the video recording. I don't care about the stenographic recording. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Have a great day. See you tomorrow.